Hello YouTubers and welcome back to another video. This video is going to be split in parts and I hope it reaches more people. So we'll be covering the video in English, Hindi, both languages, and the video will be split between international news, domestic news, the news about ancillaries of renewable energy, the news about EVs, and the news about research and development. So there will be 4 videos on this weekend, so the video is not as long as it used to be in the past month. The videos were 40 minutes long and it were not reaching more people, so we have decided to split the videos based on the categories of the news, and this is how it is going to be for this month. So we'll be trying out with a reach, and I hope it reaches more people and more people like the format of our video coverage. So let's get started with the video with a cheers, keep hydrated and drink water. Hello YouTubers and welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to cover Indian solar news and updates for the week 1 of July 2021. We are going to cover news from around India, and this video I'll try to keep it in English and Hindi mix, so it will be in English for the Indian audience and for the international audience both. Let's begin. So Andhra Pradesh recently made a empanelment tender and they invited bids for rooftop solar PV plant where the subsidy is provided, and they have discovered a bid of about 50,000 rupees per kilowatt, and after subsidy reduction the per kilowatt cost in Andhra Pradesh is coming about 31,200 rupees. So ये जो टेंडर निकला था ये एम्पैनलमेंट का टेंडर था, एंड जैसे हम देख रहे हैं पिछले 6 महीने से लगातार कॉस्ट बढ़ रही है, तो आंध्र प्रदेश में कॉस्ट बढ़ी है कंपेयर टू लास्ट ईयर्स एम्पैनलमेंट टेंडर. तो लास्ट ईयर ये कॉस्ट 35,000 रुपये थी, अब ये 50,000 है, एंड अब 50,000 के ऊपर सब्सिडी मिल रही है. तो ये ट्रेंड हर स्टेट में दिखेगा अब हमें. NTPC and ONGC to boost development of offshore wind energy. So NTPC is the largest state-run power giant of India. They control the major assets of power in India, and they have tied up with ONGC, that is a oil firm, state-run oil firm of India, and they are going to invest about 5 gigawatts of wind energy, offshore wind energy, using the coastline of India, that is 7,600 kilometer long, and they have also planned about 30 gigawatts of offshore wind energy by 2030. So this is a huge plan by NTPC and ONGC, and they are planning 60 gigawatts by 2032 of combined renewable energy sources. So NTPC ने ये प्लान निकाला है, NTPC ने एक बजट निकाला है इस साल का. अभी इस हफ्ते इन्होंने बजट लॉन्च करा अपना कि हम ऑफशोर विंड एनर्जी पावर प्लांट में इन्वेस्ट करेंगे, एंड ऑफशोर इनको लगाना है 2022 तक 5 गीगावाट, एंड दे विल बी प्लानिंग ऑफशोर ऑन द कॉस्ट लाइन, एंड 2030 तक 30 गीगावाट का पोटेंशियल है. बहुत बड़ी न्यूज़ है ये. Where the ALMM listing requirement went wrong for India's solar mission. So ALMM, those who are in the industry, they know the government recognized that the domestic players are in a pain, and domestic manufacturers pleaded to the government that you please help us out. So they made a approved list of models and manufacturers to set a quality benchmark of solar modules in India. तो ये solar module का जो benchmark निकाला था गवर्नमेंट ने, अब इसका गलत इस्तेमाल हो रहा है एंड इंडिया का सोलर मिशन डेविएट हो गया. सो दिस benchmark and this association that was formed by the Indian government, so it is being misused right now, and it is just a pawn that is being used for non-tariff barrier for foreign manufacturers and for solar developers. So solar developers are not opting for ALMM modules unless and until it is mentioned in the government contract, because ALMM manufacturers are not able to cater to the demands of the developers, that is high watt modules, so that the LCOE of the electricity is very very cheap. So अब डेवलपर्स जो हैं, ये डेवलपर्स सिर्फ तभी यूज़ कर रहे हैं ALMM वाले मॉड्यूल्स जब तक टेंडर में लिखा है. अगर टेंडर में नहीं लिखा तो ये मॉड्यूल नहीं यूज़ हो रहे हैं कहीं पे भी, एंड इवन द मैन्युफैक्चरर्स आर नॉट ऑप्टिंग फॉर गेटिंग देम impaneled in ALMM that is approved list by the government, because the fees for the empanelment that the government has set is about 5 crore rupees per manufacturer. So you can imagine, like, if anyone has a manufacturing line of 50 megawatts, So he has to spend about 5 crores to get empaneled. So this is absurd and this is being misused right now. Another solar tenders activity is up compared to last year's quarter two. So year on year, we are seeing more and more capacity being tendered by the Indian government. This is, I think, due to the 2022 target set by the Indian government on an international podium. So we'll see more rapid installation of solar PV plants in the coming 6 months or 1 year. So the government agencies have been on a track. If you see my mouse, if you see the cursor, the government agencies have been on track, and in current year 8.5 gigawatts has already been tendered and they have attracted auctions as well. Compared to last year, it was only 6 gigawatts. NTPC has invited a expression of interest for sale of fly ash in Middle Eastern regions. So NTPC कह रहा है कि हमारा ये जो fly ash निकलता था from all the coal power plants, we are wishing to sell this off and हम चाहते हैं कि Middle East में sell हो. So NTPC has invited bids from Middle East particularly because they know that infrastructure development right now is on pace in the Middle East region and they want this fly ash to be mixed with cement, concrete products, bricks, blocks, tiles. So it is a good move and we hope that NTPC finds a buyer. This was a big news for Indian devotees and Indian religion people who believe in the deity Tirumala. So it is a big temple in South India, Tirumala Tirupati Devsthanam. It is a big temple and they are opting to go green this year. So due to the capacity that they had, the capacity that they required, it was 2 megawatts, but they didn't have the rooftop to install this 2 megawatt capacity. So they are opting to install it in open access or virtual net metering kind of thing with the help of the local government. So they are installing 2 megawatt rooftop solar across colleges, school in Tirupati, and they'll be purchasing that power back at a cheaper price. So good move. And in earlier this year with the finance meeting that the ministry had, it was declared that all the religious temples, religious places will be forced to opt for renewable energy sources to power their premises by 2024. So it is a good move set by Tirumala Tirupati temple to opt for 2 megawatt of solar power plant. ITI has put up a tender of 1500 kilowatt grid connected solar PV plant in Rai Bareli, UP, and it is open. It is till 26th July, I think. NTPC had tendered 500 megawatt of solar EPC work. So NTPC is attracting 500 megawatt interstate transmission anywhere. NTPC is saying कहीं पे भी लगा लो पूरे इंडिया में plant and we'll buy the power and we'll buy the whole asset. So NTPC has invited the bids that you set up 500 megawatt of plant anywhere in the country. It could be in multiples of 10 megawatt, upwards of 5 megawatt, and the land has to be undisputed. So they'll buy the whole asset. If anybody is wishing to install, NTPC will buy the whole asset at a very good price. Engineering will be done by NTPC. So this was a big news that shook up the whole industry, whole solar rooftop industry, whole solar industry in India. That was Gujarat to not allow net metering of rooftop solar power plant above 10 kilowatt. So even despite the bill being made live and bill being published, electricity bill was published that net metering will be allowed up till 500 kilowatt for rooftop solar power plants. So Gujarat Discoms and Gujarat government have gone against this. Gujarat government has decided that they will not allow net metering above 10 kilowatts, and they are doing this in an effort to launch gross metering. So they are saying that you can put up a net metering plant till 10 kilowatt, and residential there is no limit. Even if, say, if you are a household with a connection of 50 kilowatt, you can have a net metering setup of 50 kilowatt. But if you are a institutional or a commercial consumer, then you will be not allowed to do net metering above 10 kilowatt. So this is a bad move because Gujarat was the state that every state looked up to for solar policy, for EV policy, for open access policies in solar energy, in electricity energy. But Gujarat now putting up a barrier for net metering. So all other states will follow this and they will be also stopping the net metering. So this is a bad move and it has shook up the industry. So they have launched gross metering, and in gross metering they'll be buying the electricity back at the price of 2.25 rupees plus the wheeling charges and transmission charges, whatever that will be capped at 7 paise per unit. So this is a bad move. एंड जो भी गुजरात से वीडियो देख रहे हैं आप प्लीज़ कमेंट करो या शेयर करो ये वीडियो गुजरात में अपने इंडस्ट्री प्रोफेशनल्स के साथ, एंड कमेंट करो या फिर यू कैन व्हाट्सएप मी ऑन दिस नंबर एंड मुझे बताओ क्या चल रहा है ये गुजरात में, एंड अगर ये गुजरात में ऐसा ऐसा हो रहा है अभी तो बाकी इंडिया में क्या होएगा ये देखने वाली बात है. Joint Electricity Regulatory Commission has issued a tender regarding RPO and it has been amended. So RPO, those who don't know, it is renewable purchase obligation that is set by Electricity Regulatory Commission of India on state governments, so that state governments install renewable assets and they buy power from those assets. North India power starved, but Himachal powerful. So this was a news that was a bit disheartening, seeing that India just touched 200 gigawatt of peak hour demand. So this news has come that Himachal government and Himachal Discoms, Himachal Gencos, Himachal generators are saying that we are power rich. We are generating 5,50,000 units per day, and they are saying that we are not finding buyers of this power. They are saying we used to sell this power to states downwards of North India like Punjab, Haryana, Goa. So they say that they used to sell this power in a ballpark figure of 2.7 rupees till 5 rupees, and due to the glaciers melting they have surplus power even in summers. So even the monsoon has not hit Himachal Pradesh yet, but they have surplus power due to the rapid melting of the glaciers. So they are saying that if this is going to be the trend and Discoms are not going to sign long-term PPAs and they are not going to buy bulk buy the power, so they are saying like what to do with the surplus electricity, and they are saying that other states are now opting for power cuts rather than buying for the power. Bad news. So this was a news from Telangana. Telangana is fairly a new state. Those who don't reside in India, Telangana was formed fairly few years back, and they are the first ones to move for smart grid cell. And they are saying that we have to establish this smart grid cell where we'll be studying all the smart grid parameters with smart grid meter installed on the whole city level. So they are saying that this will enhance their efficiencies in power generation, transmission, distribution networks, which is true IoT based, so everybody could keep track. And this move has been done by SLDC, that is State Load Dispatch Center, and RLDC, Regional Load Dispatch Center. So the Commission believes that smart grid technologies have considerable potential to promote demand response, reducing wholesale prices and price volatility, which is very very true. And this is a move to watch टू ऑल अदर स्टेट्स. तो ये अच्छा मूव होगा हमारे इंडिया में देखने के लिए कि एक स्टेट अगर स्मार्ट ग्रिड लॉन्च कर रहा है, अभी स्मार्ट ग्रिड रेगुलेशन निकाल दिया उसने, तो बाकी स्टेट्स कितने देर में लगाते हैं तो ये देखते हैं. एंड तेलंगाना में आई थिंक तेलंगाना इज ऑलवेज हैज़ बीन द फर्स्ट मूवर इवन इन स्पेशल इकोनॉमिक जोन सेटअप्स. तेलंगाना वाज द फर्स्ट वन. तो अच्छा न्यूज़ है ये. Cosmic PV Power begins module production in new facility in Surat. So this is a fairly new company. They have set up production line of 125 megawatt, and they are saying we will be able to manufacture modules up till 450 watt peak power, which is a good news. Okay, so this was a big news for this week. Electricity amendment bill likely to be introduced in monsoon session, which is going to happen this week, coming week, week 2 of July, and the session will be taken place by Power Minister R.K. Singh. So they are saying that we want to de-license distribution of power in India, and this will enable consumers to choose multiple service providers, just like telecom services. Like we are able to choose where our connection is coming from, be it Vodafone, Airtel, Jio. So same, they want to de-license the electricity distribution so that you can choose, like if you are sitting in Gurgaon, you want to buy power from Himachal Pradesh or from Mumbai. So that would be a good move. You just have to pay the charges, and they are saying that they will be introducing green tariff in this bill. So it is a big news, and they are saying that it will be also amended rights and duties of electricity. एंड कंज्यूमर्स राइट्स में भी ये बात हुई थी, जो हमने कंज्यूमर राइट की वीडियो निकाली थी, आप वो जाके देख सकते हैं, आई बटन में डाल दूंगा मैं. तो ये अच्छी मूव है, एंड ये पार्लियामेंट्री सेशन जो जुलाई में पहले दूसरे हफ्ते में होता है, तो ये अब मानसून जैसे ही आएगा तो ये जो सेशन होगा उसके अंदर ये कह रहे हैं हम बिल को इंट्रोड्यूस करेंगे एंड वोटिंग पे लेके आएंगे. अच्छी न्यूज़ है. एंड नेक्स्ट न्यूज़ दिखाता हूँ अभी. ओके, सो दिस वॉज द नेक्स्ट न्यूज़. अगेंस्ट दिस न्यूज़, So All India Association of Electricity Professionals has filed a case against the bill that will be amended in monsoon session. So they are seeking detailed deliberations of stakeholders in electricity amendment bill. So they are saying that virtual discussion were held with regulators and they were not invited in this. So nobody from the industry was invited for the bill discussion. The bill was just discussed between the bureaucrats and the politicians who are in power, and they are going to control without any intervention of the industry. So they are saying that they are going to raise issues that at least 6 months are required prevailing the pandemic. And since electricity is a concurrent subject, electricity exercise the exercise to amend Electricity Act 2003 by excluding major stakeholders is against the constitution. So they are saying that this is non-transparent, undemocratic and discriminatory to the Electricity Act 2003. So they'll be protesting this electricity bill, and which is kind of okay, because given the scenarios, like major private players will bully small players and they'll acquire the whole market. So as we know, I will not name here. अभी पिछले हफ्ते बहुत बड़ी न्यूज़ आई थी, बहुत बड़ा एक और कोई बिजनेस आया है सोलर इंडस्ट्री में, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी इंडस्ट्री में, तो मैं नाम नहीं लूँगा, बट इट वाज अ मेजर प्लेयर विद बिलियंस ऑफ डॉलर्स इन्वेस्टेड इन दिस न्यू वेंचर दैट दे आर स्टार्टेड. सो अब ये नया वेंचर स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं, इसलिए ये डी लाइसेंस करना चाह रहे हैं इलेक्ट्रिसिटी को, एंड गवर्नमेंट अपना डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट वाला पोर्टफोलियो फॉलो करना चाह रही है, या फिर ये कुछ सच्ची में एम्पावर करना चाहते हैं कंज्यूमर को. सो लेट्स सी. Okay, this was another news that is hurting me personally also, and I know a lot of solar professionals जिनको ये बहुत तंग कर रही है news. That is the duty free period ahead. Is this illusion of duty free period ahead true? Like, can solar developers take advantage of this duty free period? We all know on 31st July the duty will be finished. The safeguard duty of 15% will be finished. It will be completely removed, and we will have a 9-month window to take advantage of this till the 40% basic custom duty kicks in on April 1st, 2022. So they are saying, like, this article discussed it in deep with a lot of opinions from the industry, and it featured a lot of people that I know in the industry. So काफ़ी सारा इन्होंने डिस्कस करा, एंड दे आर सेइंग कि कैसे हम एडवांटेज उठा सकते हैं, इसका उठा सकते हैं कि नहीं उठा सकते, क्या ये ट्रू है. सो माई पर्सनल ओपिनियन in English, so that all the friends in China and abroad also know what is happening. Indian developers can't take advantage, even though they want to, of this basic custom duty free period, that is 9-month window. Few reasons in my personal opinion, that is the costs have increased for all the commodities linked to the whole supply chain of solar PV industry, be it solar polysilicon, wafers, cell, silver paste, and glass has increased, EVA sheets have increased, aluminium has increased. This is just the solar panel I'm talking about. After this, if we talk about, say, solar panels is increased in India, we buy domestic content, that is solar mounting structure, steel, iron shot up, cost has gone up, copper used in cables, cost has shot up, labor, workforce cost has shot up. So the whole project cost is rising exponentially, and in the past 4 months we had to do so many negotiations for our existing projects because the costs have changed drastically, and it is unfeasible to do projects at the previous cost. So will major players who control the panels throughout the world reduce the prices when we have a 9-month window, or will they use it to their advantage to earn more money? And I don't think, like, developers will be taking advantage. Only developers who have signed the deals and have mentioned change in law in the contract will be able to take advantage of this, but all other developers will lose. Especially the rooftop sector will lose, because rooftop adoption in India is price sensitive and it is done on the price game. So if the price is shooting up, the customers will delay the projects. So I don't think this is going to be happening in India. Okay, so regulators have allowed Odisha Discom to buy 500 megawatt of solar power from SECI at 2.61 rupees per kilowatt hour, and SECI has said that we will charge 7 paise per kilowatt hour as margin fee. So the total cost per unit will be 2.69 rupees per kilowatt hour. And Odisha Discom has invited bids from the other small discoms in the state to procure power at 2.71 rupees. So they are keeping a margin of 3 paise per unit, which is good, and it is like नो प्रॉफिट नो लॉस वाले बेसिस पे ये पावर बेचना चाह रहे हैं, क्योंकि सेकी का पेंडिंग पड़ा है 1500 मेगावाट स्टेट के अंदर. सेकी कह रहा है कोई तो खरीद लो पावर, तो ओडिशा डिस्कॉम ने कहा चलो कोई बात नहीं हम खरीद लेते हैं. सो गुड मूव दैट ओडिशा हैज कम फॉरवर्ड एंड बॉट द पावर बाय सेकी. Okay, big news for this week after June 4th week was June 4th week. We had an announcement by Mukesh Ambani, the owner of Reliance Group. So they said that they will be investing about $10 billion in gigafactories in India. So $10 billion will be spent in four kind of gigafactories: solar module, energy storage, battery manufacturing, and energy business. That is their other business. So they said they will be investing 75,000 crore rupees, and now they have appointed the leader for these companies that they have introduced. The leader would be Anant Ambani, that is Mukesh Ambani's son. So now he is going to handle the two companies, that is Reliance New Solar and Reliance Solar Energy. Race for Mytra's renewable energy assets. So Adani Group, Renew Power, KKR, CPIIB and Ayana are all after Mytra renewable energy assets. So Mytra is the biggest wind power conglomerate in India. Not the biggest, but they have the assets spread across India. So they have the highest data of wind in India. So the assets are spread in 17 wind farms across 9 states, and they have over 250 wind masts. So this news is coming just 2 weeks after Adani Group had acquired SoftBank Energy. So we covered it in June week 3. Adani Group bought SoftBank Energy for a whooping $3.5 billion. Now Adani is also looking to buy wind power assets of Mytra Energy Group, and Mytra internally is expecting a check size of $2.1 billion to $2.3 billion. So this is a big news even for any player in India who is going to strike another mega deal. Okay, so this was sad news given that surplus renewable power is available in India, and surplus power is lying idle and no PPAs are being signed. So four union territories and Goa especially have failed to comply with renewable purchase obligation. So these four territories are Puducherry, Lakshadweep, Goa, Chandigarh, Daman and Diu, Andaman Nicobar Island and Dadar and Nagar Haveli. So all the UTs, it is not expected out of the UTs. They have failed to procure renewable power obligations. So Aptel upholds SECI's trading margin of 7 paise per kilowatt hour for solar and hybrid projects. So Aptel is appellate tribunal of electricity law in India, and SECI took up a case with them that discoms are not buying the power when they are saying that we'll keep a margin of 7 paise per kilowatt hour. So Aptel has said that SECI, you can keep the margin of 7 paise per kilowatt hour for solar and hybrid projects across India. So SECI is very happy with this news and they are trying to find buyers. This was a big news. This is the first for India. India's first AAA rated green bond by a renewable power company. So this is the company, if you can see the cursor, Vector Green Energy. This is the first company to launch AAA rated green bonds by renewable power, and they are saying they'll give the interest of 6.49% non-convertible debentures, and it is still to be listed on Bombay Stock Exchange, and it could be bought by Axis Bank, ICICI Bank Securities, and it would be also listed by Climate Bonds Certification. So good news for India, and I'll be waiting for this to happen, and I'll be seeing what goes around in this bond. Okay, big news, another big news. IFA warns financial risk for new coal underestimated. So IFA has reported that levelized cost of energy for coal in India is calculated based upon overestimation of factors such as utilization rates. So they are saying that LCO is calculated by assuming a utilization factor of 85 to 90% throughout the project life, which is not true. So no plant can work at 85 to 90% utilization factor throughout the life. It has to have some degradation also. So however, the LCOE turns out to be 65% higher with India's average capacity utilization factor sitting at 55%. So 55% is still higher, and IFA has warned that financial risk is there due to the new plans that are announced by the government. The government has announced 39 gigawatts of new coal power plants under development. As we discussed in National Electricity Policy draft that was discussed, I'll put the button here, you can watch the video. So India was going to invest in coal power plants to meet the rapid ramp up and ramp down demands. So rapid ramp up and ramp down can be done by easily done by fossil fuel and nuclear power plants. It is not so easy to do in renewable energy power plants because renewable energy is variable in source. So they are saying that there is a risk and it needs to be considered. Acme Solar and Renew Power are the winners for MSEDCL's 500 megawatt solar auction. So we discussed this in week 4 of June. MSEDCL launched a 500 megawatt solar auction and it was oversubscribed by 3.5 gigawatts. So they attracted the bids of 3500 megawatts, but they only had the land for 500 megawatts. So now they have selected two players, Acme and Renew. Acme has quoted 2.42 rupees per kilowatt hour for 300 megawatt and Renew has quoted 2.43 for 200 megawatts. Mahindra and Mahindra to acquire 31% in solar power generation company. So Mahindra said it will acquire 1.6 crore shares in Renew Sunlight Energy in one or more tranches and for cash consideration of 16 crore rupees. So big news. Tata Power, a leading power utility, has entered into a strategic partnership with California-based Autogrid for deploying artificial intelligence-based smart energy management system. So Tata Power भी smart meters की तरफ move कर रहा है. So Tata Power is saying that this partnership has been done to get the intellectual rights and intellectual property of this startup, and they are saying it will help them in the area of demand response, distributed energy, resource management, electric vehicles, virtual power plant, energy storage, optimization, flexibility management, forecasting, and renewable integration. So they will be doing a pilot run in the cities that TPDDL operates. Tata Power has also installed DC fast charger near Statue of Unity in Gujarat. So the fight of acquiring Indian solar market has took off between two Indian billionaires, Mr. Mukesh Ambani and Mr. Gautam Adani. So Mr. Gautam Adani wants to be the biggest solar player in India. He said, I want to install 5 gigawatts of solar power by 2025. And earlier this month came Mr. Mukesh Ambani. He said, I want to develop 100 gigawatts of solar power plants in India by 2030. So the fight is on and we'll see who wins. Gujarat renewable energy capacity set for threefold surge. So currently Gujarat has an installed power generation capacity from renewable energy sources like solar, wind, hydel, biomass, bagasse is about 13,000 megawatts. So that is 13 gigawatts. But Gujarat's power generation capacity from renewables is expected to jump to 38,000 megawatts. That is 38 gigawatts by 2025. And by 2030, which is less than a decade, it will be eyeing 61 gigawatts, which is very huge number. Congress MP has asked Punjab government why it didn't renegotiate power purchase agreements. So they are saying that previous government was crony and they had a false agreement, false power purchase agreement with the party जिससे भी खरीद रहे थे, and they are saying that why you have not renegotiated, we'll renegotiate the PPA. So ये चल रहा है मजाक पूरे इंडिया में, रीनिगोशिएट करते रहते हैं PPA. एक सरकार आती है कहती है कर दो, दूसरी सरकार आती है नहीं करो, फिर वो डिस्प्यूट में चला जाता है, फिर 8-9 महीने तक कोई पावर ही नहीं खरीदता वो. तो ये चल रहा है इंडिया में. So Ministry of Power has given the option to DISCOMs to exit PPAs after completing tenure. So DISCOMs usually do a PPA of minimum lock-in period of 15 years and a full PPA of 25 years. So Ministry of Power has allowed the DISCOMs to exit the PPA after the lock-in period has gone. So after 15 years, the DISCOM can say, I'm not going to buy the power. So the developer or the DISCOM can sell the power, whatever the power they procure, they have signed, they can sell it on the Indian Energy Exchange in the open market. So that is also a गेम राइट नाउ इंडियन एनर्जी एक्सचेंज पर ट्रेडिंग बढ़ रही है, तो वहाँ पे भी बेच सकते हैं एंड बढ़िया है ऑप्शन डिस्कॉम्स के लिए भी. Renewable capacity addition likely to improve to 11 gigawatts in financial year 2022. This report has come from ICRA. ICRA is a rating agency in India. So ICRA is saying that the capacity addition will be 11 gigawatts. Currently, India is eyeing 8.5 gigawatts for this financial year. So they are saying 11 gigawatts is in, scope. So this is the news. India could add 8.5 gigawatts of solar in financial year 2022. And the strong project pipeline is good for the financial year, and tariffs will go up amid the module prices, the rise in module prices, but the competitive bids are going to stay below 3 rupees per kilowatt hour. So this is a top news for this week. India could or would or should put up huge solar power plant capacity in this financial year. So 8.5 gigawatt is okay, but 11 gigawatt is tough. Okay, so the President of India, as advised by Prime Minister, has directed the allocation of portfolios among following members of the Council of Ministers. So all those who want to know who the Council of Ministers were can click on the link below and uh, find the PPT and find the slide and click on the link and find the ministers. So Minister of Power and Minister of New Renewable Energy Sources was advised as Rajkumar Singh, but we'll find out who exactly is appointed. So this was a big news, and I think my team needs to update this slide as well, because this news they have put up as July 8th. So on July 10th, again India saw the all-time high. On July 8th, India saw the power demand of 197 gigawatt on of 197 gigawatt, which is huge. And on Thursday, we saw 200 gigawatts. 200 gigawatts, and on I think Friday we saw 210 gigawatts. 210 gigawatts is all-time high of India's peak power demand. Okay, so Center of Science has set up solar thermal component testing facility in Hyderabad, where they'll be testing thermal fluid, evacuation tubes, concentrating mirrors, all those things, and it open for private companies to go and test their equipment. SECI has launched a tender for selection of consultancy firm for owner's engineer service of 100 megawatt solar PV project at Chhattisgarh. So this tender is open and it is being assessed by SECI. Punjab has issued a draft regulation for grid connected rooftop solar with net metering. So Punjab government is saying that as per the electricity bill, we'll accept net metering of up to 500 kilowatt, and beyond 500 kilowatt we will also go for gross metering. So Punjab has set out a norm that even if you don't want to do net metering, if you want to establish the project just to sell the power upwards of 50 kilowatt, you can do gross metering and we'll pay you, and this amount will be set by the Electricity Regulatory Commission of the state. It will be average of the price of the power in the whole state, so it is coming about 2.6 rupees. So 2.6 rupees will be the tariff for gross metering, and they have also given the very nominal fee amount of 50 rupees per kilowatt for the application of net metering, which is very good. Sangam Renewables Limited has divested from its entire stake in its subsidiary Vakos Energy to Aditya Birla Renewable Limited. So I think like this was not divestment, this was a special purpose vehicle company that was made specifically to be bought by Aditya Birla Renewable Energy, because Aditya Birla Renewable Limited was a equity holder in Vakos Energy as per the papers. So I did some digging on the BSE website. So Tata Power secures 84 megawatt rooftop solar contract from Kerala utility. So Kerala took out a tender and Tata Power has landed a contract of 400 crore rupees to install rooftop capacity for domestic consumers across the state. So it will be in a RESCO model, and 84 gigawatts for a single company is huge, but Tata Power is a huge company and Tata Power can handle it. So Shri Krishan Pal Gujjar takes charge as Minister of State Power. This was done while Mr. R.K. Singh was present. SBI has provided 31,000 crore rupees in renewable energy project finance as of financial year 2021. So compared to the history of the SBI bank, 31,000 crore rupees they have provided in renewable energy project finance. And if you want to see like लोग बोलते रहते हैं हमारा लोन करा दो, अगर देखना है कि एसबीआई लोन देता है कि नहीं देता रूफटॉप सोलर के लिए, तो आप जाके ये लिंक पे क्लिक करके देख सकते हो। एसबीआई लोन देता है बट सिर्फ बड़े प्रोजेक्ट्स को देता है। इट हैज़ टू बी 50 मेगावाट्स। ये फंड अपने बचा के रखते हैं। एंड इफ एनीबडी फ्रॉम एसबीआई बैंक इज वॉचिंग दिस वीडियो, व्हाई आर यू नॉट फाइनेंसिंग स्मॉल रूफटॉप प्लांट्स? 5 किलोवाट 10 किलोवाट के प्लांट के लिए क्यों फंड्स नहीं देते हो कंज्यूमर्स को इंडिया में, जब क्रेडिट रेटिंग अच्छी है उनकी? ये फंड्स 50 मेगावाट बड़े प्लेयर्स के लिए क्यों रखे हुए हैं तुमने? So what is the purpose of State Bank of India? Why is it the National Bank of India? So ये funds सही जगह पे लगाओ, रैपिड डिप्लॉयमेंट होएगी सोलर की इंडिया में। आइए नेक्स्ट न्यूज़। India's renewable energy growth rate has dipped to 8.3% in year 2020. So it is a statistical report reported। इसीलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि ये क्यों फंड नहीं करते हैं छोटे रूफटॉप प्लांट्स। रूफटॉप लगेंगे तो ग्रोथ होएगी ना। अभी रूफटॉप में लग नहीं रहा क्योंकि प्राइस इंक्रीज हो गया है। द प्राइस हैज शॉट अप फॉर सोलर पैनल्स, फॉर ऑल द कमोडिटीज, फॉर ऑल द लॉजिस्टिक सप्लाई चेन लिंक टू सोलर इंडस्ट्री। सो कॉपर का प्राइस बढ़ गया, स्टील का प्राइस बढ़ गया। तो अब रेजिडेंशियल मार्केट में लोग कह रहे हैं कि नहीं बड़े प्लांट में काम चल रहा है, वी ourselves are working in large plants but residential market is suffering. So residential market में financing is a need of the hour and bank should look into it or private investors should look into it, but private investors को भी अपना रिस्क देख के आना है इसके अंदर। so they have a certain interest rate but बैंक सबसे कम interest rate देगा। Shri Bhagwant Kumba takes charge as Minister of State for New and Renewable Energy in the presence of Mr. R.K. Singh. So this is the new appointed minister for MNRE. Regulator of Maharashtra has approved tariff of 7.45 rupees per kilowatt hour from waste to energy project in Pune. So this was a project I studied deep in the case of this project. So this project was disputed for about 3 years now, and it was between negotiations and contract cycles between the government and private vendors. So government said to cap the PPA and to fix the PPA amount. The developer wanted escalation because waste to energy plant requires a lot of manpower. Daily waste आता है पूरे शहर का. So they are processing about 750 tons of waste daily in Pune city, and they'll be producing power. And they have said that you should compensate us and exempt us from CUF and PLF because we don't know what kind of waste we are getting, which is okay, which is justifiable, जायज़ है ये, क्योंकि उनको पता नहीं है क्या आएगा वेस्ट में। तो अच्छी न्यूज़ है, ठीक है। 7.45 तो गुड अमाउंट है। And if you have been watching till here, thank you for watching, and hit like, subscribe, and first of all share this knowledge with your friends, because the more you share this knowledge, the more people come into solar industry to work. The more people work in this industry, the rapidly we'll grow and we'll make coal obsolete. So सारे coal power plant बंद करना चाहता हूँ मैं personally, and मैं चाहता हूँ सब जगह हर छत पे सोलर लगे। So thank you for watching. This was the last video in the weekly series of July week 1. This is the 4th video 4 of 4. So all other videos are linked here I button में, नहीं तो playlist है, आप playlist पे play कर सकते हो, and you can find the slide in the description. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next weekend, that is week 2 of July. Thank you.